It's about as simply as I can put it. And what I mean legacy is that Mr. Parker passed down several things. And there's not one person on the board that would agree. Some people will say, oh, it's the love. Some people say it's the martial arts. Some people say it's the community. Some people say, well, he taught us a base system for us to expand on. So whatever it is for you, I'm looking for leadership for me. I won't speak for anybody else in the room. I want to know what I can do it's my turn to give back. And that was the whole purpose of this, is not to take, but to give back so people could sit down and listen to the people that live and walk the walk. So, that in mind, I'm just going to go down the row. I'm going to go with Mr. Cornejo. In 2 minutes, what was the greatest gift that Mr. Parker gave you? And what legacy are you going to leave to your students?
All right, I'd have to look at it when I first started as a young fellow. All I wanted to do was fight. I wanted to beat guys up. I wanted to get in the line. There was a fellow teaching Scott Lord. When I first signed up, I was in a white belt intermediate class and advanced class. Why? Because I like to fight. They could use me for a dummy. And I used to like to get to learn how to fight. That was my thing. I didn't really think about anything else until years later. Like today, which a lot of you guys are in it going, oh, teach me how to fight. I want to do, oh, that looks good. I want to be like him or that guy or this guy. And I try to imitate a lot of people that I thought were really good. Later in your late years, you think to yourself, wow, you know, how can I change that to young people that come in there like a snot-nosed kid like I was? Nobody really likes a snot-nosed kid coming in. I had a lot of them. One of them seems to be standing kind of close to me right now. I don't know if I should say it, but it took me a whole lot to know and learn how to be able to take a kid that was really kind of off in a lot of ways, trying to hurt you, beat you up, and really get to you. And you got to be a good teacher when you look at it now. How I like to, I get guys that have a chip on their shoulders like myself, and a lot of us that grew up. How can I get that guy? Look at this guy. He's one guy I look up to, Mr. Idol, I have to say. He's like a machine to me. It's something beautiful that come up that I look up to him the way he is as a martial artist. And I pick him because he's one of my little troublemakers when I was starting out. But I was the same authority under Mr. Parker's, and he brought me up in a way that taught me to be able to look and be the teacher, to be able to notice people with a problem. Instead of throwing them out, bring them in, work with them, and try to give them something so that someday he could give that back. And if every teacher in here had that, rather than to just beat up his students all the time, or look for them and try to bring that coal out of them, or that what you make that diamond out of afterwards, that's what really would count in my books. And I'm happy that now as an old man, I do know a little bit more on how to talk to people and try to smooth them out to be a good guy rather than to go the wrong way. I don't know if I answered that right, but
Mr. Rodarte? What is the legacy Mr. Parker passed on to you? And what is the legacy you're passing on to us?
Well, to me, Mr. Parker, learn from it to be open-minded, always learning. Don't consider yourself an expert. An expert is someone that knows it all. Even at an old age, well, advanced ages, always be able to learn a little more from the next guy, whether it's in the teaching, in the business, and how to run a business. You got to pay that rent. So again, Mr. Parker, this wouldn't happen. One man. Not like other systems, the Korean and Chinese, but to him, it's passed on to my son, to my grandson, and I can appreciate that. And it's kept me in the shape I'm in, always moving, always fun, meeting people, and hopefully we live another 10 years.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Bleeker.